Hi. Thank you very much to presenting us. It saves time for our 10 minutes. I'm Tzvetan, the guys from your right, my left. When you read the topic of our talk, between innovation and overload, smartphone use, teacher readiness, and digital well-being in K12 education, maybe we will expect from me to begin talking about digital platform, digital tools in classroom, AI, learning analytics. And we'll be absolutely right to expect that. But actually, this part of our presentation will be covered from Mr. Plamen Miltenoff. What I want to do now is to begin with a story. Because I'm historian, an old story. In the ancient time in Greece, when the city-states sent a delegation to Delphi to consult oracle, they need to pass between two inscriptions in the front of the Delphi. One of them is very famous, everyone knows. It's Gnotiseo ton in Greece, or know they self. The other one, maybe it's equal important, read Megan Aden, or nothing excess. Everything is moderation. So today, when you speak about digitalization, about smartphone, about innovation, about regulation in classroom, maybe it's better to think about this ancient readiness, wisdom, nothing in excess. One of the symbols of this success is the smartphone. This is one tool which, in the perception of the pedagogical society, and not only, is between the perception is between Hosanna and crucified. This is one tool who promise us to make connection and shortcut to knowledge, but in the same time brings anxiety, distraction in classroom. So today the question is, what is digital well-being actually mean in school environment, and whether the ghost of this excess is around us in the classroom, in the policy. And even if this is something excess or something necessity. For all this will speak Dr. Plamen Miltenoff. I'll leave the floor and I give the, no, this one, maybe.
Is it on? Can you guys hear me? Cool. Okay, I don't have any candies to hand out. I will just ask you for a little bit of attention. We're close to lunchtime. Everybody started is overwhelmed, so I'll keep it short. Actually, I cannot see the time, so you guys probably will stop me. So, 10 minutes, we were talking yesterday with our Italian colleagues that are insanely short to present an idea. We cannot bring any facts. Tzvetan shared some ideas. I'll leave you with some open questions. I'll play devil's advocate. So smartphones in the last decade were considered BYOD, bring your own device, right? It brought some hope for the schools that they don't have to buy Chrome tablets, they don't have to buy iPads, which are very expensive. But since most of the kids have iPhones, which are little computers, we could use technology, right, to teach with it. And now, and I'll try to go to the presentation. We're talking about bans of phones in the schools. Australia, I believe, was the first, and in Europe, it's picking up pace. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't want to get into debates. Again, I'll leave you with open questions, which we can think in the future about. And that's, do we want to ban the phones if they're little computers that can be used in education? The same phones right now are used increasingly by K12 students and by students at the universities to access artificial intelligence. They download the apps. And if we ban these phones, how everything will evolve? That's my question that I want to find answers, and I hope you can help me to do that. So, when BYOD picked up pace last decade, a lot of talk was about changing pedagogies. And our colleagues in the morning, many of them were mentioning this, and other colleagues which are coming after us, they will be talking also about personalized education, which AI promises big time. We failed in the last decade to change our pedagogies and use the smartphones to start doing individualized learning. Will we do that now, or we keep banning the phones? Last night when I was thinking about today, about our 10 minutes presentation, it reminded me a little bit the penalty system in the United States, which everybody criticized that it's not preventive but punitive. Are we going to teach with punitive methods, or we will be thinking about preventing the bad consequences of using iPhones? One of them is the well-being of the students and the teachers. Or we will start changing our pedagogy. How many minutes do I have? 4 minutes? Excellent. So, admittedly, unquestionably, the reason for a lot of governments, for increasing number of governments to decide to this drastic measure is because it has impact also on the teachers. The teachers cannot handle, they don't know how to handle the use of phones in high school, in K12, also at the universities. But that's also nothing new with the phones. Before that, it was the same with laptops. The older generation here remembers the first decade of the century when laptops even had a physical knob to turn off the access to the internet so students can pay attention, right? And the disputes were, should we let them use internet or should we not? I don't know how you feel about this. You can jump in at any point and let me know. The comments that I was reading in these endless discussions, not very flattering for a lot of educators, were that if you, the educator, don't know how to keep their attention, don't blame it on them that they get distracted by the internet. Use the internet so that they get involved in learning rather than being distracted. After that, the same was with social media. You remember this part, right? When social media was banned from schools, then allowed, then banned again, allowed again, until everybody, administrators, teachers, parents, all of the stakeholders were thinking, what do we need to change? How do we change it? And again, in the times of generative AI, right now the big word is individualized learning. Figuring out how to pay attention to students, to pupils, the way that they get involved in learning. Some suggestions, definitely not exhaustive. That's the short work that Tzvetan and I did. We would most warmly welcome anybody who is interested in this topic. We are definitely open to collaboration because this is a huge area. And what it makes it even more complex is the fact that it's culturally bound. Whatever works in Bulgaria might not work in Hungary, and vice versa. But on the other hand, if we collaborate, if we work together, we can also avoid reinventing the wheel. So working in a bubble is not very effective, and working together might help us figure out how to resolve a complex problem. How are we going to achieve that well-balanced part? In my opinion, again, depends on the involvement of all of the stakeholders. I always put the administrators on the top, because it doesn't matter how many good ideas we educators have, eventually somebody has to stamp them. So you can guess that I'm not very administrative friendly, but that's just because I have some experience. And this is our contact information, where you're most welcome to jump in, or if you know colleagues who are working in the area of smartphones, AI, well-being. And well-being is practically the umbrella term that we're using, but under well-being I put also stress. I put also digital fatigue. Unfortunately, there are quite a lot of synonyms that goes with that term. Yep, thank you.